If you want to understand why I prefer to do complete reviews over day one reviews, look no further than Prey. What up everybody, welcome to the channel. I am your host Mike Fury and I make informative videos just like this one, so please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And with that being said guys, here is my complete review for Prey, the digital deluxe edition.
Some people will never understand what you can do.
Warning, this is a station-wide emergency. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We can fight the invasion. If I can't save us, I'm taking every last one of them with me.
As Morgan Yu, you are a billionaire, scientist, and vice president director of research aboard TranStar Industries' space colony known as Talos 1. Your job is to research a specific breed of alien known as Typhon, who carry a spectacular amount of abilities. You offer yourself as a guinea pig for said experimentation, and crap hits the fan, along with your memory loss in tandem with an alien outbreak occurring on Talos 1. You wake up to your very own security measures informing you must do the unthinkable. Destroy Talos 1. But something's not right in the air. There's a air of mystery. Everything is not what it seems. What is your brother hiding? What is the purpose of the Typhon themselves? And how does all of this connect with my memory loss? Should I even destroy Talos 1 at all? The story itself is solid. As an immersive sim, your decisions through the 20-hour campaign will feed into 3 possible endings. You can even skip 80% of the game with one of the endings themselves. I'll leave you all with this. Are you human or are you Typhon?
We are over now.
Prey occurs aboard the alien-infested space station with one-of-a-kind atmosphere. It's eerie, horrifying, and it is the only game that has me shooting at random cups because God knows where the mimics are. The tension, the mystique around your predicament, you can literally cut it with a chainsaw. To add to that, Talos 1 looks great. It sports these different locations like a lobby, arboretum, and a cargo bay, just to name a few. The exterior, the guts, are some of the best because Talos 1 has these zero gravity sections where you're allowed to actually use this propulsion system to travel around in 0G. It is so great. Now on top of that, there's a bunch of environmental hazards. All enemy types vary in design, and on top of that, it has this fantastic level design that is only achievable by the great people in Arkane Studios.
Steady. That pulse hit your suit systems pretty hard. It came from the substation ahead. There's a magnetosphere around Talos 1 that keeps the sun from cooking your insides. Hopefully the generator isn't dying. For your sake. I'll be fine.
Vital signs critical.
Audio plays a major part in Prey, as it has a great soundtrack that really sets the mood, great ambient noise, jump scare like sounds, and audio cues that let you know, hey, you're not alone. But then at the same time, the game also knows when to be silent, and this eerie feeling, this dreadful reality that you really are probably the only survivor in this whole entire space station, and your only company are the Typhon. that really sets it. The way that it uses silence is excellent. There's also voice acting as well. Good amount of survivors that you will find throughout the whole entire game. Yeah, spoiler alert, there are people that have survived. They are all different. They sport different accents and dialects, and I think that for the most part their performances are solid. Nothing too great.
And look, everything happening on Talos 1 started here. You were so driven in the beginning. My mistake was agreeing to put you at the center of the tests.
And on top of that, you have great weapon audio. The shotgun sounds great. The wrench carries a bit of weight to it, which I love hitting things with it. And overall, the audio experience fits like a hand and glove with the presentation, the audio, the visuals. You don't have to be convinced at this point that Prey has a lot of great things. But if you do need to be convinced, here's gameplay. Now, Prey at launch, and this is very specifically, listen to me carefully, Prey at launch had a great, smart, thought-provoking gameplay loop with a bit of complexity in the mix. You see, on the surface, Prey is a first-person shooter where you have superpowers, upgradable weapons like shotguns, pistols, wrenches, and so you would think, so it's like BioShock? Not exactly, because that's where the BioShock comparisons end. This is a much smarter shooter. Ammo is scarce. You must find creative ways to deal with your enemies, and all together you can even avoid encounters if you're smart enough. For example, you can use the glue gun to immobilize your enemies and get away from them, or use the glue gun to create steps on the wall so you can get to the higher ground and slip past everybody. If you're running out of mats or need to craft something in a hurry, you can use the recycler grenade, which is by far the best grenade ever created. This will create a small singularity in which it will suck up all items, random objects, friends, and foe, and spit them out in material cubes. So you can use these material cubes to craft ammo, medkits, weapon upgrades, among other things. The Typhon are all different and come in a variety of shapes and sizes, and all with different powers and weaknesses. The Mimic are very small, but they could actually become inanimate objects. Phantoms are human-sized and carry different elements to the big gargantuan Nightmare, which is this huge tanky monster that takes a while to kill if you don't use everything at your disposal. You can use the weapons, the turrets, your powers, and therefore you can beat it at any point in time, but you must have these either unlocked or be smart enough to use your environment to your advantage. Now, speaking of powers, you have two sets of abilities, or two skill trees, if you will. You have regular human, and then you have Typhon. Due to the experimentation, you do have both of these DNAs in your body. Human abilities are very simple. You have advanced conditioning, you have hacking, repair, things of that nature, a higher metabolism, and you can get these all from neuromods. Same with the Typhon. So with the Typhon, you actually get a little bit more creative. You have fire blasts, kinetic explosions. You can even become a cup like the Mimics. There's also mind control, teleportation, telekinesis, and more. These can all be accessed from neuromods, which you can find throughout the whole entire game. Do keep in mind, every single choice has its own set of consequences. The more powers you get from the Typhon side, the more the ship's security measures will recognize you as an enemy and not as a human. So keep that in mind. There's also suit and or scope chipsets that can affect gameplay in very small ways, kind of like Bone Charms and Dishonored. There's also tons of audio logs to find and listen to. There's also tons of emails to read. There's safes to unlock. There's Typhon to research, and even optional quests. And that's just the base game, because let me be clear. The devs decided, hey, later on, we're gonna add this little thing called survival mode. And holy crap, talk about fantastic anxiety. grab everything I just said, put it all together, add oxygen management to your suit. Add traumas caused by sustaining damage or jumping, falling from heights. You can break your bones, you can have hemorrhage, you can get concussions, all from sustaining damage. These directly affect your movement, your actual health. This affects your psi abilities. Like, it is incredible. And add weapon degradation. So now each and every single weapon, you are scrounging for spare parts and you have to make decisions like, do I repair my suit or do I repair my gun? Should I even and this is like what makes it so amazing. Like these little micromanaging of just events. You don't want to get third-degree burns. That might have an everlasting effect. Like things like that make it oh so sweet. Survival mode literally makes it like grabbing the base game and bringing it up to an 11. It makes it so good. I absolutely love it. It is the best way to play Prey. Survival mode on. You can have it on normal difficulty, but you also got a bunch of different types of difficulties from easy mode to just the story mode. Keep in mind, story won't allow you to put survival mode on, but you could play it on nightmare difficulty, which they added, and that's permadeath on, and you have a new game plus. I can't sing the praises of this gameplay loop enough. It is fantastic. And the best part is, the best is yet to come.
The moon is a harsh mistress. The longer you're here, the harder things are going to get for you. Let's get to work. The moon's mistress. Let's get to work.
The first DLC is the pre-orderable DLC. We don't have to get into that, but keep in mind it'll give you a cool looking shotgun, some neuro mods, some med kits, and extra goodies, essentially giving you a head start during the start of your first playthrough. That's all cool and dandy, but it's irrelevant. Because after you're done with the story mode, these devs, the great people at Arkane Studios, decided, you know what? It's been around 5 years since somebody made some amazing DLC. I don't know if it's particularly 5 years, but hey, I'm just throwing it out there. I think every 5 years somebody makes some groundbreaking DLC. That's just my opinion. But they decided, you know what? Let's make something outstanding. Something out of the ordinary. Something that would knock everybody's socks off. Introducing a top 10 best DLC of all time. This is Prey Moon Crash.
Let's get to work.
Now let me be clear. Moon Crash is a roguelike built from the ground up in Prey. Yes, an immersive sim roguelike, the first of its kind. Multiple character classes with all their own strengths and weaknesses. Multiple branching storylines, all affected by each other, each and every single character. Like that right there just blows my mind, but let's keep on going. Add to that procedurally generated levels with the fantastic level design that is Arkane Studios' bread and butter. And an even greater variety of enemies in the DLC, along with Prey's already smart gameplay. It's insane. Let me say that. It is insane. I think this is everything Returnal wanted to be. Being honest, everything Returnal wanted to be, Prey accomplished in DLC, as far as a roguelike is concerned. Moon Crash itself is centered around a simulation where you must get 5 different characters off the moon using their specific skills, and figuring out what to do in each and every single run is only part of the fun. Because as you fail, you will acquire sim points, enabling you to get stronger, start off with useful items like weapons, neuro mods, and things of that nature. You'll also be able to upgrade each and every single character as you progress. But the game is also smarter, because as the game progresses, as you get stronger, the game also introduces this contamination meter, which is procedurally making the game more unstable, or the sim itself more unstable, spawning more enemies, more obstacles for you to get through as the meter grows. Exploring the moon base itself is great. It's just as great as exploring Talos 1, if not maybe even better at certain points in time. As you learn the layout, you see the areas locked off by specific classes, because each and every single class has a specific skill. For example, there's the engineer who uses repair, and only she can use the different turrets around in these specific areas. She could only also repair the specific doorways as well. There's so many little things here that are specified for certain characters, so learning the layout would allow you to get to these specific areas, open them up for the other teammates or the other characters, or maybe just one specific character. That's only part of it, but that right there is the cherry on top of the sundae, because that is what you need to do. You need to think of the whole and not of just the particular part. When you use a character, you need to make sure that not only do I get out alive, but also how do I set up all my other characters for success. That part right there is fantastic. The melding of the exploration on this moon, inventory management, class-based prey gameplay, level design, and the procedural generation, it is phenomenal. This is the definition of amazing DLC, and if this was released by itself and by another name, it would have been 9s out of 10s, 10s out of 10s. It would have been amazing, but since it's tied to Prey, and Prey didn't sell well, this probably sold worse than the base game, which is a complete and utter shame. Now let's get into the negatives, because as you can read on the title, I said Prey is almost perfect. And you would ask, what makes it not perfect? You seem to be elated. You seem to love this game to death, Michael. But, but the story itself, it isn't amazing, due to a simple fact of lack of interesting characters. The characters, even from your brother, the most interesting person in this whole entire space station is you. And no, that's not a pun off of the last name of both of the characters, and Alex you and Morgan you being Morgan you. No, that's not a pun. Well, maybe it is now. But you're the most interesting person there. Everybody else is very, I would say, to the book. They're good. It's good to have you here, but I'm not excited for you to be here. Like, I don't mind if you die. I don't care what happens to you. Like, there's nothing here that makes me like any of these characters or even remember them. And that includes your brother as well. There's also a bevy of tiny issues here and there. For example, side quests really don't show off how great the gameplay is, as you only have basically your basic fetch quests or rescue quests. Literally, that's all the side quests actually try to do, at least. So I wish they had a little bit more variety and they were a little bit more creative. That would be awesome. There's also long load screens on console. I'm playing on the PlayStation 4 Pro version, or the PlayStation 4 version, if you will. I'm playing on my PlayStation Pro, and it's just very long, like minute long, probably 2 minute long load times. I really don't understand why. Maybe the PC version is much better. And then also, to finish this off, it did crash on me twice, and it also froze on me once. In conclusion, Prey is the real deal. We're talking about a top 5 best locations in video game history in Talos 1. We're talking about a great gameplay loop, great presentation, great audio, and top 5, top 10, top 5, depending on who you ask, DLC of all time in Moon Crash. And you can see why I absolutely love this game. Is it perfect? No, it's not, because the final score for Prey, the Digital Deluxe Edition, is a 9 out of 10. It is probably one of the best immersive sims you could possibly get your hands on. It is great. It has everything going for it. I don't understand how it didn't sell well, if I'm being honest. I really don't. And the best part is it's readily available. You can find this on sale dirt cheap. Prey be going for like $9, $8, and the Digital Deluxe Edition be like $13, $14, like absurd amount of value for this game, along with the multiple endings, along with the DLC. It is great. Some of you guys might say, hey, why didn't you talk about Typhon Hunter? Because nobody plays Typhon Hunter. That is the multiplayer that was released later on in Prey. Nobody plays that, so don't come at me. Oh, what about Typhon Hunter? Okay, point is, they are great. Let's go ahead and answer the 3 questions, shall we? Is it fun? Is it worth it? And is it for you? Playing Prey with the different types of ways you can play it is a blast. Like, it really is. From stealthy to guns blazing to playing smart to the survival mode that you can toggle on and off to the great DLC. Everything about Prey is fun as hell. Is it worth it? Like I mentioned earlier, you can find it in 3 ways. You can find it on sale for like $8, $9. You can find the digital deluxe edition, this version that I'm reviewing right now. You can find it for $13, $12, around that range. And you could also find the base game Prey in the Arkane collection that brings all of the Dishonored, Dishonored 1, Dishonored 2. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Dishonored collection, the Arkane collection on PC brings Dark Messiah, Might and Magic, if I'm not mistaken. But again, don't quote me on that. But readily available. You can find it at any point in time. If you're going to buy the base game or get the Arkane collection, keep in mind the Mooncrash DLC doesn't come along with it. You might have to shelve, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's $10 to $15 tops on the Mooncrash DLC. And then finally, is it for you? If you like games like, let's say, Thief, if you like games like Dishonored, if you like games like Deus Ex Human Revolution, those are not open world, but those are very story-driven, immersive sims. They are excellent. Almost all of them are excellent. If you like games like that, if you like games like BioShock, if you like first-person shooters, a little bit more technical, not really the guns blazing type, not Doom-like. If you like games like that, this is right up your alley. And that is it for today, guys. Tell me, have you guys ever played Prey? Will you play Prey now that you've watched the review? What do you think of Prey? Is it your cup of tea? Is it not your cup of tea? Did you like the review? Let me know down in the comment section below. Give me some feedback. That is it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Links are down in the description below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting me there. $1 a day keeps the landlord away. I'm your host, Mike Fury. It's been a complete pleasure. Until next time, Mike, off.